How's everyone on a nice, cool, crisp morning? Glad to see you all here this morning. Okay, Washington County Commissioners Court is now in session, Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Commissioner Kester, would you give the invocation, please?
Shall we pray? I just want to pray to God that He lets this court make the right decisions and that everybody stays safe during this freeze we've had, and bless everybody in this county. And we'll pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 3, discuss and possibly act upon the approval of extension of time to use vacation hours for T.J. Harris with the Information Technology Department. The request is for 57 and a half hours. Ms. Milchick?
So these are pretty common. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Sorry.
morning.
Glad we all made it here safely. These extension requests are pretty common. Hopefully they will be a thing of the past pretty soon. But at this time, we'd like to extend this for Mr. Harris.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the extension of time to use vacation hours for T.J. Harris with the Information Technology Department.
I second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 4, presentation of the Human Resources Quarterly Report. Ms. Milchick?
Well, prepared a short report for all of you. Top of the list, the employee handbook. We did hope to get this finished by the end of last year. We've decided to take a little bit of time to have it vetted a little further so that once we have it completed, we know that it's all correct and compliant. It's undergoing a final review by the County Attorney's Office as well as the TAC HR, so we can be ensured that everything is done effectively. I do plan to share this with all of you soon so that you can begin to review as well. Health fair, last time I was up here, we were just heading into, or just finished that. It was a great event. We had a lot of local vendors. We formed a lot of great relationships with local providers for health services. Looking forward to next year. The weather was a little rough that day, so the employee turnout was not what we had hoped. But we got great feedback from those who were able to attend. Christmas party this year, I was happy to see a lot of people there, a lot of happy faces. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. We had 120 employees, most of those with a +1 who showed up and celebrated with us. We were able to collect 36 raffle prizes and 33 door prizes donated by local businesses, several officials, and some business affiliates of the county. At the party, we did sell raffle tickets. That's a way for us to support our own Christmas party and kind of feed into provisions for next year. So we raised $2,600 in raffle ticket sales. The typical employee counts on the 12th of each month. October, we had 226 employees, November 241, and on December 12th, 232. Turnover rate for the quarter was only 4.29%, but overall for the year was 24%. 10 terminations through the last quarter, 25 new hires. In December alone, we did almost half, 12 new hires in December. A lot of our departments are coming up to staffing levels. And those who aren't quite there yet, we are working diligently to get those filled. Those numbers are a little bit further down for you. And we're also continuing to evaluate the electronic timekeeping system. We put a little bit of a hold on it while we finished up the health fair, the Christmas party, and the handbook. But we will revisit that and fully vet that before we bring it back to you guys. But do know that we are still looking into that so that we can make it more effective for our employees as well as the HR staff. Any questions? That's everything I have.
I have none.
No, I have none. Thank you for the report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5, discuss and possibly act upon the authorization for the Washington County Facility Manager to seek invitation for bid on a chiller replacement for the courthouse using ARPA funds.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to request your approval to seek bids to replace our chiller here in the courthouse. We found a replacement. There's a replacement out now. It's manufactured by Trane. Our biggest problem was the footprint of what we have downstairs. There's hundreds of different chiller companies, but no one makes one that will fit into our basement. They all want to put them outside, and of course, we don't want to do that. So what I'm asking you is, we'd like to go out and seek approvals for a 100-ton Trane. It's very close to the same price of the first one we brought back to you. Any questions?
And what is that
Yeah,
price?
how much was that?
It's $200,000.
So do we not have to, do you have a formal RFP document that you've vetted through William Bass?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause I just didn't
We've
see
been in
it.
contact with him. We've sent him the new information. He has that prepared to start the advertisement on the 18th. We would like to have the bids due by February 1st, 10 a.m., open the bids the same day, and then we'd like to bring it back for your approval to purchase February 13th. And that's through ARPA funding.
Okay, due on February the 1st, due and to be opened on February 1st, and brought to court for approval or disapproval on February 13th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I would like to tell you guys, we've involved a lot of different vendors, even some local people here to get involved with this. And I think this is our best fit for what we need to carry the courthouse for the next 20, 25 years.
I make a motion to authorize the Washington County Facilities Manager to seek invitation for bid on a chiller replacement for the courthouse using ARPA funds, with the bids being due February 1st and open on the same date, and to be awarded on February 13th in this Commissioners Court.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Item number 6, discuss and possibly act upon the selection of a firm for financial audit services and allow county auditor to enter negotiations regarding terms, cost, and audit service details. Alice?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We had a few come back and
A few being how many?
two. And then there were also two that came in later on that day, but of course they didn't count because they missed the deadline. So the committee and I reviewed the two that did come in, and we are recommending Belt, Harris, and Pahachek, LLLP out of Houston. They have 8 current counties that they're auditing, and they're around us, and I did call and, just visit with those folks to make sure that everything was kosher with them, that if they had any issues or anything, and they couldn't say enough nice things about this group. So their main audit only thing is government auditing. That's what they do. They do 125 a year, and we go out for the GFOA certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, and they are familiar with that too. They have 2 current counties that do the same, and they also have current and former members that are on that review committee for the GFOA. Also, they have 4 offices: Woodville, Austin, Belleville, and Houston. They have 25 team members that work on the audit, and they said a lot of it, according to their RFQ, would be done electronically. They would have software that we would communicate back and forth in this software called Audit Box, and all the information stored there will be there from this point forward, so it's always, you can look back and refer to it. So if the court approves, then we will begin going into contract negotiations with them to get costs for services.
Okay.
Let's see. Where is the name for Belt Harris?
Is there a motion?
I make a motion for audit services from Belt Harris for financial audit services to allow the county auditor to enter negotiations regarding terms, costs, and audit service details.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss and possibly act upon the approval awarding the bid for grazing leases on approximately 8,352 acres in Tom Green County. Commissioners, we put that out in 3 separate tracts to be bid separately, and you have this document in your packet. It looks to me that the committee recommended, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Kramer, that we'd recommend Colby Schiemann, 6518 Green Oaks Drive, Christoval, Texas, as the high bidder on each of these tracts.
And then would you please correct that to 9,155 acres? Since that was what those 3 surveys came back as.
Okay, let's do that. Acres is 9,155.
155.
Okay.
Sir, may I address the court real quick
Yes,
about this?
yes, you may.
I submitted a bid. I'm the last person down there, Tommy Wright. And the country, I don't know how many of y'all have been there, but it is in dire need of some attention. And I do not know if y'all will consider the packet I sent forward, including the $350 per acre. I propose to guarantee a minimum of $25,000 a year in upkeep or improvements, as well as entering that thing into the EQIP program, which is an NRCS government program. And typically, once you get funded, you won't get funded the first year because it'll be late this fall before it can be submitted, early spring before that is considered. But I've done that extensively over a lot of ranch land, and typically you can get $200,000 to $300,000 in funding. And that is a program, once you're in it, it's easier to continue to get into that. So if I was awarded that, I would guarantee a minimum of $25,000 a year improvements on top of the cash lease. And in all probability, over the next, it's a 5-year with a 5-year term, over the next 10 years, I would say conservatively to add an additional $600,000 up to $1.5 million, $1.6 million in improvements to that land. And whether I get it or not, you people really, you really need to see some videos of it or something. Driving through the pasture road, there's a busted water line with water just running full force down the road. I don't know how long that's been there. A current leak, spraying water in the air, and there's just pallets wired around it. And anyway, it's just, the list goes on and on. Mesquite has taken it over, and prickly pear is unbelievable there. So anyway, this is a beautiful piece of land, or could be, provided somebody would get it and take care of it. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, we don't know if this bidder that bid this is going to provide those same things
No.
without
Exactly.
him
That-
here.
That wasn't the bid packet. The bid packet did not include any of that type thing in it. So.
Do y'all have I've sent 5 packets with the stuff that I would do. Do y'all have that? It was in the
Well,
packet that I sent.
yes, I have. The
Okay.
committee, when we opened the bids,
Okay,
that was
great.
in there. Yes, it was.
Thank
I appreciate you coming in
Oh, you
and
bet.
offering that up.
you. Yes, sir.
That was-
Absolutely. What was that called?
Ma'am?
What was that you referenced? It was an acronym?
It's a NRCS, and it's a government program, and then It's a government organization that helps with the funding of and improvement of land for your natural resources. And then a subcommittee of that is EQIP, and that is, you apply there and get government funding to aid in the clearing of land and whatnot. Not just clearing, but adding water, fences, prickly pear, all types of improvements.
As I said, I don't know if the top bidder on this school land was able
Included that.
to do those same things. I don't know if he's
don't
able
either.
to do it or is willing to do it. But it is definitely something I think this court, if it's awarded to the top bidder, because as you know, this money goes to the school district,
Absolutely.
and we,
That's the whole thing.
Trying to
provide
be the
those-
best stewards.
yeah.
as we
So I think we definitely need to look into that.
What kind of stipulations are on that NRCS?
Sir?
What kind of stipulations are on the NRCS program?
Like any government program, you learn the tricks of the trade and you learn how to get it funded by the ways you apply for things. The stipulations are, there's a strict stipulations. You cannot you cannot leave too much brush. There's time frames. You have to get it completed in phases. Typically you grub first, then you will rake, and then you will wait. The following spring, there's a window they allow you to seed. After you seed it, you have to rest that for growing season, so basically a year. Then the following year, you come back and spray prickly pear. There's just a lot of guidelines, and it's a wonderful program if you're willing to jump through the hoops to make it all work. So,
Well, Mr. Wright, that's all very interesting, but we have to have, the bids had to be apples to apples, you understand? And this was none of your considered, was
I understand.
part of the bill. Your program, I think you do a good job with that, but that's just not what the bid package
No,
called for.
I understand, and I felt like it was probably the case when I did that,
Well,
but
it's
anyway.
interesting, yeah. Okay, is there a motion?
I move upon the approval of awarding the bid for grazing leases on approximately
9,155
9,155 acres in Tom Green County.
to whom?
Don't say.
Tom.
Jacoby Sheeman at $8 per acre on
Correct.
tract A, 208.86 acres. Tract B, 4,066 acres, $8 per acre. Tract C, 1,603 acres, $8 per acre. Total $73,240.
Okay. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Commissioner, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Item number 8, discuss and possibly act upon awarding the bid for a used water truck. Mr. Stoltz.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Yeah, so we did open our bid packets this past week for a used water truck. We did have received one bid. We were actually pleasantly surprised with what we received on paper. That said, I do want to send our shop supervisor as well as a shop tech down there just to ensure that everything is in tip-top shape before I'm willing to bring a recommendation to the court. We did bring our original anticipated deadlines that we would bring this to you today. What I'd ask is that you table this to allow us to be able to go down there. We were anticipating to go down yesterday, sending the two gentlemen down there to go take a look, but obviously with the weather, I didn't think that was a very safe venture, so we decided to postpone that.
Okay.
And if you'd like, I can give you a little bit of details. I'm gonna give you more next Commissioner's Court, but
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
Are you comfortable with the bid itself?
yes.
Okay, so if the court were able to give you the authority to, once this inspection is done,
Conditional approval?
yes, can we make it just?
Absolutely.
Can we,
Condition upon
It's
your
not an
approval
option.
of the condition of the equipment.
because we're just awarding a bid.
Right.
Absolutely,
If
yeah.
you-
So
if
you can
you-
do a conditional approval pending the EDS department's inspection of the vehicle is satisfactory.
That's the
If
way
you're
we
willing to
do
do
it.
that, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be great.
Well, I make a motion to award the bid for the used water truck to the one bid that was presented.
WJ
On the
Trucking.
condition that the shop foreman be allowed to review the vehicle and check it out for any thing that you guys need to do.
I'll second that motion.
Fantastic.
Motion been made and seconded as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Okay, item number 9, discuss and possibly act upon awarding the bid for the 2024 aviation fuel. Mr. Stokes.
Yes, we did receive 3 bidders for the aviation fuel. The low bidder was Campbell Oil Company out of Elizabethtown, North Carolina. We would like to recommend an alternative award as well in the situation where quality control is not able to be met, because we have had that issue in the past, and that would be going to Avfuel Corporation out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So I make a motion to award the bid for the aviation fuel to Campbell Oil Company with an alternate award to Avfuel Corporation.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss and possibly act upon a subdivision variance request for land division fronting Tory Lane, 11.0245 acres in the Obadiah Hudson Survey, A0063, Precinct 4.
Yes, we do have an application for a subdivision variance request. The parent tract is 11.245 acres. They'd like to be able to sell off 2.5 and a secondary 2.5 acres while retaining the remaining 6.245 for themselves. This is a private roadway. However, this tract does have access to this particular roadway, and it meets all of the county requirements going forward. So given the fact that we have granted these variances in the past, I would recommend approval of this particular variance.
So the Tory Lane is a private road?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the reason I couldn't find it.
So they'll have an easement, I guess?
They do have access to that private
Private
roadway.
road, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the subdivision variance for land division fronting Tory Lane, 11.025 acres in the Obadiah Hudson Survey, A0063, Precinct 4.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, discuss and possibly act upon a subdivision variance request for a land division fronting Marshall Lane, 13.29 acres of A0074 Lawrence, Adam Tract 34, Precinct 2.
Yes, this is in Precinct 2 off of Marshall Lane. The parent tract is 13.29 acres. The applicant is requesting to be able to subdivide this via meets and bounds into a 3.1 acre tract, a 5.1, and a 5.1 acre tract as well. These particular tracts do meet all frontage requirements to this particular roadway, and given the fact that we have granted these particular variances in the past, I would like to recommend approval of these particular tracts.
So, Mr. Stoltz, the
Sure.
track that looks like a flag lot up there,
Mhm.
see that track?
Yes,
That
sir.
track has actual road frontage though, correct?
Yes, sir, it does. I know it's a little bit cut off from the screen here, but
Yeah.
there's another roadway
Okay,
right here to the
'cause
right.
I just wanna make sure of that
Yeah.
because I
That
don't
could
want
be
us
concerning.
approving a variance and then somebody not having access.
Yeah.
All right.
Precinct 2.
Yeah.
Commissioner.
Oh, I didn't know if you had anything else to add. You're good?
No, yes,
Okay.
ma'am, I'm good.
I make a motion to approve the subdivision variance request for land division fronting Marshall Lane, 13.29 acres of A0074 Lawrence Adam Tract 34, Precinct 2.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, discuss and possibly act upon a subdivision variance request for land division fronting Highway 36 North, 11.01 acres in the A0109 William Samuel M. Tract, 244, Precinct 3.
Yes, we do have another applicant for a subdivision variance request fronting State Highway 36 North. This is an 11.01 acre tract. The applicant is requesting to subdivide out 2 separate 2-acre tracts with a remainder 7-acre in place. With the proposed geometry of the tracks that have been proposed, I know it's a little bit kind of rough with this sketch. We're looking at approximately 100 foot for each one of those frontages. I know they're a little bit long, but at the same time with the 2-acre, that does meet our minimum requirements for those 2 particular 2-acre tracts. And
I make a motion to approve the variance request for a land division fronting Highway 36 North at 11.01 acres in the A0109 William Samuel M. Tract 244, Precinct 3.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, discuss and possibly act upon a subdivision variance request for land division fronting Salem Road, 3.693 acres in the A0120 Carrington John, Tract 166, Precinct 2.
yes, this is an applicant for a subdivision variance request that retains 2 tracts that equate to 7.058 acres. The 3.693 acre tract, they are looking to break that into a 1.5 acre tract, which you're seeing in the pink there. There's an existing lot that fronts Salem that they're requesting to be able to give an additional 1/6 of an acre to that particular tract, and then combine the remainder of that tract back over to the other one, which would allow for a 5.382 acre tract from the legal standpoint of the calculation. With this in mind, they do retain all frontage and minimum requirements for the pink tract. The existing tract that's in green with the additional 6th acre brings them into closer to compliance, and the remainder blue has frontage a little bit further down Salem as well, and is above minimum requirements for frontage as well as acreage.
So all of that blue behind the green, okay,
Mhm.
is part of just this blue tract, correct? All of that is? And
Yes.
so, okay. That's interesting.
Interesting way to cut land.
Yeah, so what they had previously was essentially the pink there. It wrapped around behind those additional tracks there along the frontage. And
Yeah.
what they're wanting to do is actually legally combine that with the actual track that's a little bit to your right there on the screen, and actually have one singular frontage to the back there.
It just makes it difficult because all that blue back there, they try and divide anything else out of there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Create a very difficult situation when it comes to road frontage.
You're exactly correct. I believe they have around 100 foot along the additional tract over here that they're retaining. So they would not be able to, under our existing conditions without a variance, be able to separate that into 2 separate tracts going forward without doing a public or
Do they
private road.
know that?
Yes, sir. They have been notified of that.
Okay.
Okay, all right, as long as they know.
Interesting.
Okay.
They've informed me that one of the large reasons they'd like to be able to keep the acreage above 5 acres is for agriculture exemption purposes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the subdivision variance request for a land division fronting Salem Road, 3.693 acres in the A0120 Carrington John, Tract 166, Precinct 2.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 14, discuss and possibly act upon going out for requests for qualifications for wildlife manager for the Tom Green County School lands. Commissioner, what you have in front of you this morning is the request for qualifications. It's quite extensive, something we've talked about in the past since we're dividing the usage of the land now between the grazing and the hunting. They will get a wildlife manager in place